Welcome to the Bourbon Van. I'm Phil.
And I'm Julie, and welcome. Happy Labor Day, everybody.
Absolutely. Hope you're having a great long weekend. We're thrilled to be here. We're thrilled that you're here.
Yes, absolutely. Before we get started, Bourbon Van, thumbs up
For
that
audio?
You can hear us.
Thumbs up for audio. Let's see here.
Guys,
yeah, so far, so it looks good. It looks good. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say thanks for joining us today. Hopefully some of you had the day off and had a really nice day. We had a couple plans fall through for the long weekend due to, outdoor stuff and whatnot.
Well, national parks and forests being completely shut down, it's kind of hard to travel to them when you can't go to them. So
I know, and so we thought,
let's have a live stream.
Let's have a live stream and celebrate it with you guys.
Yeah, we were going to drink whiskey anyways. We may as well do it with some of our favorite people in the entire world. So
totally.
This is great. Welcome, everyone. Looks like we've already got plenty of our friends in the chat here. Welcome, Mike Meyer, Mike DiPapino. Nice countdown. Thanks, Mike. Yeah, I'm proud of that.
I know this is week 2 or something on that one, and Phil, you did a good job.
I'm still excited about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ruby Heart 921. Hello. Christopher DeVries. Hello. Tyler Deputy, One Old Texan, how you doing?
Hey.
Peach Coke, hello. Good to see you. David, happy Labor Day. Yes. Have audio. Hey, great. Eric's here. Eric C. Rye Guy, hello. Mr. Great Shot, good evening. Jeff Perkins, how you doing, Jeff? Welcome. Richard White. Oh, great to see so many of you here on a Labor Day. Honestly, I wasn't sure if anybody was even going to be around.
I know we were thinking like it could just be us just chatting to the ether, which obviously we're totally capable of doing.
We've done it before. There's Lyle. Welcome, Lyle. Good to see you. Dave Markowski's here. Good grief, everybody. This is great.
Cheers, everybody.
This is surprising. This is really fun. Well, tonight we have something that we've been talking about doing for a while. We were going to do it as just a Monday video or whatever, and we decided, well, there's no reason we can't turn this into a live stream, get some feedback from you guys in case you have any thoughts or ideas on it. But we're going to be finishing our own whiskeys. Obviously, this has been done by several other channels. It's a thing that takes time. So tonight we're going to be putting the staves in with the whiskey in the mason jars, and then after 40 days, we take those staves out, and after 14 more days of letting the whiskey sit on its own, we'll do a video where we actually do a tasting. Whether we're going to do that as a live stream or just a regular video, we don't know yet. But
and by that point, you'll have forgotten all about this live stream.
We may have as well.
And yeah.
So we're excited to give that a try. So while we're doing that, we're interested to know, A, have you ever done this before?
Yeah.
B, how did it turn out?
And C, what are you drinking right now?
That's the important one.
If you're having something to drink, which it's a holiday.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, hopefully you're already on one, or maybe even 2 or more. So we're thrilled that you guys can make it tonight. We're thrilled to be here. David, thank you very much. Eric C. says, in harmony of the live stream, sipping on Maker's FAE 01 tonight.
Ooh.
That's fantastic.
I like it.
Wendell Wilson's here. Cheers, Wendell. We've got, so in our glasses right now, Cooper's Craft Barrel Reserve.
Yeah.
The idea being that we were going to, we've got some Old Forester 100 proof, and we want to know if we use a oak stave, a barrel char oak stave with Old Forester 100 proof, how close can we get it to Cooper's Craft Barrel Reserve? Because it's not super readily available out there, and we understand that. So we thought, shoot, if we've got a hot tip.
We're doing some mad scientist tonight.
Yeah.
Or not mad scientist, just
no, happy science.
Happy science. Yeah.
I'm a happy scientist. Cheech Ardolino in the house. Welcome, Cheech. Good to see you here. Pouring a Larceny. That's the right idea, Richard. We're definitely going to be doing some of that tonight. Tyler says he really enjoyed the Stag Junior 15 versus 16. Still have an unopened 15 and hunting the 16. Yeah, that's such special whiskey. I mean, Stag Junior Day, which doesn't always come our way, when it does happen, we get pretty excited about it.
Yeah,
especially Julie almost ripping my arm off.
I mean, it's a big day, and you know that if you can get one, you're only getting one. So it was a
Yeah.
I felt pretty lucky, pretty happy.
Yeah, we're always feeling fortunate when we've got that on the shelf.
And fortunate that it was delicious.
Can I give you a cheers here? I think I'm ready to have a sip of this. Are you?
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, friends. Thanks for coming out.
Peach Coke. Drinking a Parker's Heritage.
Mm.
Did you find that in Oregon? Man, I've never seen a bottle of that. I've never seen a bottle of any Parker's.
Sorry, I was interrupting your that Cooper's.
Yeah. Yeah,
I like
that's
it.
good whiskey.
Yeah.
There's Eric and Ruby both drinking the FAE 01 tonight. Not too shabby right there. That's great. Timmy.
Timmy.
Heyo. Maker's Cask Strength. A lot of makers in the house tonight. Old Elk Weeded Bourbon Store Pick. All right. That sounds pretty good to us. We've never seen the store picks around here, but in our travels, we know that we're going to find some. So we are excited to get on the road and find some of those. A lot of weeders tonight.
I like it.
Labor Day is the time to drink weeders.
Remember, we're finishing off things that we like to drink in the summertime because we're turning a corner here.
Exactly. Exactly. Christopher DeVries says slightly unhinged science. That's real accurate right there. Dave, batch 16 for 225. Oof. Yeah, it's crazy what's out there. Somebody on the video commented that they found it for 500 euros. Not sure where they're located, but that's absurd.
Not here, obviously.
Rich wants to know, is that Stag Junior in your glass? Cooper's Craft Barrel Reserve at the moment.
I know if I had like a backup of that 16, I probably would have that in my glass right now. But you know, that's got to last you the whole year now.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Plus, you know,
it's got when
people visit, you have to have a little sample, maybe to.
Exactly. Yeah. It's you have to share it, right? So
sharing is caring.
Peach Coke says that he did get that Parker's Heritage in Oregon. Well, color me surprised and jealous. That's I've wanted to try those for a long time. There's a whole bunch of good ones out there apparently. Wendell's got some EC Rye.
Nice.
All right. Sipping on Cooper's Craft 100, Jake Miller. All right.
There we go.
There you go, Jake.
I love it.
All right. So here's how we're going to start. Let's start with the Old Forester because I feel like we could pour ourselves a tiny sip of that while we're doing this to see how they compare the Cooper's Craft 100 to the Old Forester. And then we'll go ahead and get that barrel stave ready to go.
Oh, we get a little taste of the Old Forester?
I think we should. If we're going to do science.
It's a bourbon channel, so.
It's science.
Yeah, that's true. You always have to test you have to A/B test or whatever you call that. Like
exactly, yeah.
It's like chefs, you know, making sure the food is good before they serve it out to us. That's what we're going to do. And then whatever the finished product is.
Right. Rich.
Oh, guys.
Rich doesn't like that we got that stag and that we got it so affordably and that we've gotten multiple bottles of it now. Rich, we were hard to get this stuff. Man. We're working hard out here. Hang in there. You're going to find it sooner or later. I believe in you.
Got to move to Oregon. $50. It's like insane, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, I love it. I'm not mad. I'm not mad about it.
No. It's a twister. It's a twister.
I know. Oh,
I know you do.
Even though that was a satisfying crackle.
You know what? That's almost as satisfying as a good cork pop sometimes.
I know. That's pretty nice. I showed you like it was a cork. Sorry, guys.
Was Julie with you when you found the stag? She wasn't. Actually, she was not.
I rarely go on the runs.
Yeah, she gets annoyed by me because I spend so much time.
It's usually like, hey, don't worry, I'm gonna run out. I'm gonna get A and B, and I'm like, cool. And then was it Friday?
Yeah.
Came home with 7 bottles. Wait. Oh no, it was 7.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
7. But I mean, it was for the channel. Well, part of it was for the channel. Some of them were for the tasting that we're doing at Wayfarer Weekend in Bozeman in a few weeks.
Sure.
So everything.
It all works
purpose. I got things planned out.
I know.
So we've got the Old Forester 100. Should we pour a couple glasses of this? Just a couple.
Are we using these ones?
Tiny tasters? Yeah, we may as well.
Okay. I can do my pouring science.
Get you your Bourbon Van.
I'm just gonna.
Challenge pouring over there.
I'm just gonna do a little. That's actually pretty hot. That's all right.
A little splash is good enough for me. Thank you.
I can't remember. Have we had the 100?
Yeah, we had that. We had a bottle of that for a while. We had a bottle of that and a bottle of the 86 at one time.
Well, we had wasn't there a 90 something proof too? 96, 94 proof.
For Old Forester?
Yeah.
Beats me.
Or
I don't
am
think so. So
Am I making that up?
the color's very different right off the bat.
Here it
So
is.
yeah, let's keep that guy right there for the time being. Color's real different off the bat. So
I was going to compare it to the Coopers, but
uh,
it is a very caramely color, I guess.
yeah, more golden.
Golden, yeah. Oh yeah,
It's-
even compared to that Coopers. Look at the redness on that.
I'd say ripe fruit, ripe red fruit.
They smell a lot different.
Yeah,
Wait, because I forgot already. Is this the one we're going to try to Cooper?
we're gonna try to
Cooper-tastic?
turn this into Cooper's Barrel Reserve with a charred wood stave.
I like it.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
let's do that
sorry.
one instead. Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Evening from London. James Morgan, welcome.
Hmm.
For the channel. Yeah, Mr. Great
This is
Shot. That's
good.
it. Julie needs a copy of the spreadsheet. That's what Ruby says. You're not going to find her looking at that too often.
This is no, yeah, and also like literally 10 minutes before 5 o'clock, I was like, "Remind me again what we're all doing today," and then
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
it's not-
which bottles are we mad scientists?
It's not that she
here?
doesn't care. It's that she's not paying attention.
True. I ask
no.
a lot of questions and don't listen to the answers.
Well,
all
we're
the way
busy.
through.
We talk past each other sometimes. It happens. Here's Don Holland. Welcome, Don. Tyler wants to know, Phil, have you ever been recognized as co-host of the Bourbon Van while on the Bourbon Hunt? It's happened 5 times.
And he comes home, and I think you're a bit tickled.
Who wouldn't be?
I know. You're
I
like,
mean, come on. It's nice. It's nice because it's always somebody that's like, oh man, I really enjoy
I know.
watching. It's never somebody that's like, hey, you
suck.
Yeah. No, at least so far it hasn't been that. But I mean, who knows? But
Now that we've put it out there, now someone's gonna be like, "Hey, you suck."
yeah, I mean, as long as it's in good fun, I don't
That's
care.
true. That's true.
All right, so I'm going to take another sip of this Old Forester 100. We haven't given any tasting notes on either one of these. We've tasted them enough and shared a lot about them. So
I'm just having a good time here
Yeah.
today. You know, holiday, no working,
right.
having a little fun with our friends out here.
So I'd say off the bat, the Cooper's Craft coats a little better than the Old Forester 100. Sometimes it has a little bit of a grassy note. I don't dislike it. Caramely, brown sugar, vanilla, beautiful oak presence on that.
It's kind of, the Coopers reminds me, not in flavors, but kind of reminds me of the Buffalo Trace, where you don't really drink, like you forget about it a little bit. I mean,
Sure.
not that you forget about it, but it's just like you're not grabbing it. And then when you have it, you're like, huh, why don't I drink this more often?
Yeah.
This is so good.
Well, and the Cooper's is in the decanter all the time.
I
It's
know.
always in there because we just love that stuff.
The Old Forester, by the way, the nose is just Old Forester bananas.
That's what I keep thinking. Like, there's a lot of similarities between these two because there's definitely some of the Old Forester banana here, caramel, vanilla, a nice oak here. This one's a touch spicier, I feel like, the Old Forester 100.
I'll be honest, I like that. And I'm, me, I love my Old Forester, but the Coopers, to me,
Yeah.
that gets a 2 thumbs up today. It's a
Well, they come from the same overarching distillery. They both come from Brown Forman.
Yeah.
So it's no surprise that they do have some things in common here. So what I think it's time to do is because it's just mouthfeel, robustness. That's where this one differs.
Mhm.
This one just isn't as deep, as rich on flavor. I think it's time to grab a mason jar.
I
We've
will.
sanitized our mason jars. They're ready to go. And we're going to
Oh, and the sticks.
we're going to put the staves in. Yeah, and these are the same staves that Matt from ADHD. These are, well, I mean, they're not full staves, I guess. Matt from ADHD Whiskey did this a while back, and we actually used his code to get 10% off on these. So
Hey.
if you're curious where to get them, check out his video. So White Oak Bourbon Barrel Char. Wow, these are pitch black, aren't they? Black as night.
Are we
That's
going to have to cut those? Because we're just doing a small guy.
Oh, shoot, are they not going to fit? Well, I can split them in the bag, I guess. Should I do it?
See, we're back to
Science?
the scrappy channel.
Yeah, it didn't take us long to get back here. I don't know how I'm going to break these, but we'll
I'll
figure
figure
that
it
out. Okay.
I mean, I probably won't figure
We
it
may
out,
need to
but
do
while
it.
Phil
Maybe we'll do it off
takes
camera at
us
some
through
point.
the process.
Julie, stop using technical terms.
Nope.
She
I'll be right
smoked
back.
some baby back ribs. That sounds pretty good. Shoot.
Ooh, baby back. Oh, well, not. Oh, that's pretty copyrighted on that.
Every bourbon fan that recognizes you secretly says more Norman. Yeah,
1,000%.
That's constant. I don't even know where he is. I think he's on the couch over there. He just ate, so he's going to sleep for a while, and then he'll come over and jump up. So while Julie's doing that,
Are we just doing one?
one per.
Yeah.
Yep. What do you got over there?
Hey, this was a good idea.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Julie's got a knife over there. She's getting it done.
I was being sarcastic.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So science. We're failing at science. We've got a hatchet outside. Maybe we need to get into that. You may have to saw them or just drop a few in the bottle. Yeah, we'll probably just cut it in half and drop 2 in there. Take 1 and cut it in half and drop them in.
I'm going to be sweating by the time I come back to you.
Well, it is hot in here. By the way, the air quality outside is just garbage. Probably, it was, when we woke up today, it was like 500 air quality index, so not great. Boss Hog in the back recently got to try some of those. That's the only one we've had. A client of mine bought that for us, and it was amazing. Such a nice gift because we would never have bought that for ourselves. You squeaking over there?
I think we might need to get the axe.
Okay, well, don't worry about it. We'll cut them up later. You're filthy. Yeah, you're never gonna get clean from all that now. That barrel char is no joke. Yeah, we'll get the hatchet out later. I didn't realize that these were gonna be too small for this experiment. So right off the bat, science going great. What we can do is fill up that mug though, that mason jar. Let's go ahead and do that. Oh, it's looking great. You don't have to cut those now, Jules. It's just going to keep squeaking away over there.
Hey, I'm all about
Kind of a lot more left over than I expected. That's great.
getting this perfected.
Perfection counts. Perfection matters. She's a woman who cares, and you're going to see the professionalism here in just a moment. All right.
We're not going to see the professionalism. I'm going to say that right out of the gate.
No?
No, I didn't get it.
Well,
we can still stick it in.
let's not.
Okay.
Wow. Those are...
Guys, I tried. I need more muscles.
Well, here's what the staves look like.
Wait, that's my saw mark.
Yeah.
I
Julie
did
tried
fairly...
to cut it in half. Well, shoot. We'll deal with that later. Oh, boy.
I told you they're a little
Sticky.
sticky.
Well, for now, I'm going to put a lid on this. Do you want to put some tape on this and mark what this is?
I would love to.
Or it doesn't really matter. We can just set it over there in front of it.
Well, I'll forget. So you know me.
I do. Cheers, Tim Evans. Welcome.
This is the 100, right?
It is.
Old Forester 100.
Do they call this? Is this the signature? Is that what they called this one? There were a couple of them that had different names. There was a signature and there was a something else.
I would guess so, only because bottle of bond, 100 proof.
Yeah.
That seems like the right idea to me, at least.
Well, this one's not bottled and bonded. I think it's aged 36 months. I think it says on it.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Okay. Well,
that's right. 4 years.
There's the Old Forester. There you go.
With my science.
James wants to know, do you guys have any wrenches in case of bad language? We haven't assigned any yet. We've only done, I think, 4 of these. We probably should do that at some point. You're killing good bourbon. Yeah, maybe. Not so old, Granddad. He's real sensitive about bourbon, huh?
We're just trying a new technique.
Yeah, if you don't try, how are you ever gonna know?
Yeah.
Might put a start date on it. Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Ooh.
Well, it's got that on top. If you wanted to put it on there, you don't have to.
Yeah, but then we'll want to maybe we'll want to reuse these. Think how delicious they'll taste.
Yeah, I was actually going to put this on our calendar just as a reminder. Otherwise, I'll put them in a cabinet and I'll forget them somewhere.
This is the 7th today, right?
So
what are the other ones we have?
It's the 6th actually, but we'll put these in tomorrow. So it's fine.
Sugar maple.
Yeah. So sugar maple. Is it? Do we want to do this one next?
Sure.
Okay. So this one I was going to use on Benchmark.
Ah.
Because the benchmark number 8 is a nice whiskey. It's a little boring, and
really
it's cheap
enjoy
enough that I don't feel bad at all mixing it up.
And it's like, it feels bigger than 1.75, but it's a 1.75.
That's a big pig.
It's a big pig.
Yeah. Here's what the sugar maple stick looks like.
I should even smell them. Do they smell good?
Yeah, actually, this one's a toasted sugar maple stick.
Ooh,
And
yeah,
it smells like cinnamon toast crunch.
I used to eat that.
Sure, well, everybody did.
I know.
Yeah, it's not going to fit in there, so we'll have to hack all these in half. Geez, I didn't realize that. I probably should have measured these before I did that, but that'll be fine.
All good. Oh,
all good.
Jar.
Yeah. So next up, benchmark, of course, old number 8, made by Buffalo Trace. This is an 80 proofer, 1.75 liter that we bought for about $22, I believe. So aged for at least 36 months is what they say. So once again, another semi-youthful bottle here that we're going to see if we can't. It's not that we don't like it. We're just trying to see if we can make it more interesting. And that sugar maple smells amazing.
I like the benchmark.
Yeah.
Did we already go over the price of this? I mean, it's
Yeah,
so
it's like $22 for a 1.75.
Yeah, for 1.75. I mean, there's just can't go wrong with it.
Mm-hmm.
But like everything else, it's mad scientist and see what else we can come up with.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so benchmark.
Here you go.
Oof, this one actually, the last time we had this one open was when we were on the other side of the mountain. So I just opened it and had all that pressure built up from driving over the mountain passes to get back.
WD. So what are we hoping changes on this one?
Well, that sugar maple toasted note, I think just is going to add a ton of interest. It's not like I'm trying to make this better. You know, I think we just want to see, can we make it more interesting? Because it's a good whiskey, but it's boring.
Yeah.
So if we can church it up a little bit, who knows?
I like it.
All right.
It's so funny coming out of the plastic bottle.
Plastic spigot.
Like you can hear it just like gurgle.
Well, I think I spilled that all over myself.
Delicious.
That's still whiskey. Cool. Aren't you going to be on the road when these are ready? Maybe, probably.
We'll be back. Well, I mean, it takes a long time, right?
40 days. And then you take the staves out. You can leave them in there a little bit longer if you want to. We don't really want to overcook. We'll have a look at what we're going to do because we will have
we'll have people
people will be here to keep an eye on. Well, they'll be living here, so they'll help us out with that sort of thing. So we're not too worried about that at the moment.
Yeah, maybe we can assign some tasks. Kind of keep this moving. It's true. Yeah, I suppose we could take it with us, but
yeah, limited room. I don't know if that's a great idea. So, okay, one more done. That's the benchmark. That is covered in whiskey that I've spilled all over the outside of it. That's fantastic. Really fun.
It's really funny to see these in little jars. They almost look like apple juice.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Because these two are a little bit lighter in color than we're used to.
I'm going to take another sip of each one of these.
I know.
Yeah.
Are you on the? You're enjoying the Coopers? Are you enjoying the Old Forester?
I'm enjoying both of them, but the Coopers that's a special whiskey. I really wish it was more readily available. I hope that with Old Forester growing their facility, that's going to be a mainstay of the full line all over the place because I think it's special. It's really good, and for the price, $30, it's just fantastic.
Yeah, I haven't had that Old Forester in a while. That is good.
Yeah, that's really nice. Hot tip from Tim. Classico spaghetti sauce. Save the jars, buy new lids.
I like it. Actually, I'm kind of I'm excited about this little challenge here and to see. I mean, maybe nothing's going to happen. Maybe it's going to taste completely the same. Sure. Maybe it'll taste terrible, and then we'll know we won't do this again.
I think with the banana note here, with that oak stave on the Old Forester 100, I think we're going to get something really interesting. I think we're going to enjoy that. I'm actually looking forward to seeing that because that one I think will be. Maybe it's not going to be Cooper's Craft Barrel Reserve, but I do think it'll be something unique, something interesting.
Yeah.
Potentially something better.
I think it's funny, like, to think that we could do something better than professionals. But
Well,
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, when you're talking about they're aging something for 36 months, and there's a lot of distilleries out there that are aging things in smaller barrels that are charred because they can age them quicker. They can get more of that wood characteristic quicker, and that's the idea here. Is can we sort of get not necessarily additional aging, but can we mimic that aging process a little bit?
Yeah.
Bring some more flavor to the table. That's where I think this is going to be interesting. Just gonna rinse these glasses a little bit.
I like it.
Yeah, I'm drinking out of a ball jar too. Do you think it might be similar to the Old Forester 1910? That's a good question, Christopher. I think that we're going to have to, or certainly when this is done, we're going to explore all those possibilities, because the Cooper's Craft Barrel Reserve, they chisel, it's a charred barrel, and they chisel out the grooves to create more interaction between the barrel and the whiskey. And 1910, of course, gets put into the second barrel that's charred to near incineration. So both of those go through a sort of additional, wood process. They're labor intensive to, both of them. So if we can mimic that in any way with these simple little staves, right? Cooper's Craft is solid, great value. Completely agree. Well, you guys are suggesting wrenches out there. We haven't discussed it with anybody. Does anybody want to be a wrench? It's never even occurred to us, to be quite honest. We've never done it. So if anybody's interested, let us know. We're accepting applications. Thank you very much, Ruby, for the Classico Sauce Jar Fund. Shoot, yeah. We'll start with the Classico sauce. That's a pretty good deal.
Agreed.
The sauce itself. We should have done that instead of just buying empty jars.
I know. It would have been, would have made a lot more sense.
D. Brown says, my OF 100 doesn't say 36 months. That means it has to be over 4 years aged, right? If it doesn't say, I'm pretty sure if it's under 4, it has to say, but you guys can correct me on that. I don't know. All the labeling rules, there's really kind of too many to memorize at this point. It's probably over 4 years now that I think of it. But yeah, that's pretty good. I haven't had that in a while. That's a nice sip. I'm glad we got half a bottle left.
Actually, I was really enjoying the banana-y note to that one.
Yeah, very good.
Forester Ale. That's good.
Aiden says if it's under 4, they have to say. Okay, so that's probably a 4-year whiskey then. That's interesting. All right, what is next? We have 2 more bottles over there. Which one do you want to do first?
Well, the whole idea that you, sorry, I'm looking at the second one. The whole idea that you why you came up with this, right, was Larceny.
Yes, because it's not my favorite whiskey.
Mine either.
Right.
I feel bad about saying that because I know people really like Larceny, but we can't like them all.
I'm not going to feel bad about my palate not preferring something that somebody else likes. I mean,
I know.
There's people that don't like pizza.
That's crazy.
You can't be mad at people.
Yeah.
Norman's the wrench. Thanks, Don. That works.
So the idea, I think, came about because of Larceny, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And you wanted to...
Well, we love Makers 46, but we're not that fond of regular Makers. So if we're not that fond of Larceny, can we do a Larceny 46? Can that work? That's really where this comes from. So
you'll take something good and make it something you like really love. Because I do really like that. Yeah.
So we got Larceny. Haven't had it in a long time. It's cork pop. They're all cork pops.
Do you want to cork pop it? I'm always cork popping.
Why don't I take the label off? You can cork pop it.
Are you sure?
Yeah, you're better at it than I am.
I do like it. Ooh, and that was a good one too.
All right. Aged a minimum of 6 months for Richard. Okay. All right. Let's see. Tim says, when I'm not actively on the road, I can wrench. Well, we appreciate that. You're nominated. Oh, let's see here. I will say this for Larceny. That is a good looking bottle.
Mm-hmm. It's got a nice shape. It's different than a lot of the other ones. You know, we love a good bottle. I actually like the label. Just
like Heaven Hill in general.
Yep.
This is, yeah. I hate, you're right. I don't like to say that I don't like stuff. But this one's never been my favorite, but this is...
Am I mistaken to say that this one's going to be the sugar maple, or are we doing the other one?
I think we want this to be the char again.
Okay.
Don't you think?
This is down my territory. Science,
Well,
not
if we're
my,
gonna turn it
not
into-
my best subject.
If we're going to turn it into Maker's 46,
Yeah.
so the benchmark is the one that gets the sugar maple. So this one should get the char.
Okay. Hey, I'm on board. You'd think we didn't talk about this before we actually.
We did, but my brain never stops. I can't keep it together.
I love it.
I may have a splash of this. I haven't had Larceny in a long time. Let's give it a go and see.
Actually, I kind of feel bad that I haven't had it in a long time either. What if I like love it and now I'm kind of irritated? We just put half of it in the jar.
What's going on out here in the chat? Found Larceny here for $16.50. Nice for the price. Well, Richard White, that's a deal. Do you know we got this on sale for $26?
Whoa,
So,
$60.
Yeah.
Again, guys.
A Larceny store pick has been my favorite weeder, says Not So Old Granddad. We've never even seen such a thing. Didn't even know they existed.
Wait, Larceny. I'm gonna
English and French staves is what they do for Maker's 46. So I think if we do a just a charred bourbon stave,
I like it.
that's probably the closest that we're going to get. We don't really have anything like that.
I actually forgot to write what we were putting in them, and I think that, well, I guess we'll be able to see.
One old Texan says, instead of I don't like, say it doesn't hit my flavor profile. Yeah, it doesn't matter what you say. People will be upset. That's the nature of it, unfortunately. But you're right. You're right.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's just it's like in the English language how you just always gonna go around. Everyone knows what you mean, but you're just doing the nice thing to say. The maple.
If you put those jars outside today, they'll be smoked whiskey. You're not wrong about that, Peach Coat. Good grief. You done with this or what? What has it been, 5 or 6 days?
Well, like we said on the top of the hour, we had plans to go to California actually with some friends, and we ended up canceling that because they closed all the national parks and the national forests because of all the fires and with all the people that tend to go, and they just didn't have the manpower to, in case you got lost or something right out there. And then
everybody's battling the wildfires.
Yeah, so then we stayed here. We decided to stay home and then just do local stuff over the weekend. And then a new fire broke out, and it has been, I mean, like, I feel like I've had a headache for like 4 days. Like,
it's been pretty nasty.
We haven't really even been outside all that much just because it's just, the air is so thick right now.
No, it's not safe to go out there. But a
little crazy.
Yeah, it hasn't been the best. But
horses going all over the country too. So
unfortunately, the thing that is the worst part about it is that it means that we haven't been outdoors to do a 5-Sip Friday. So we may not have one this Friday, simply because we've had zero chance to get outside. You can't be out there in this stuff. So.
Ooh.
A little nutty.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny how so many of those Heaven Hill products have nuts on them, especially the lower proof ones, I feel like. Lots of vanilla, though. That's just one thing. That's like a hallmark of this brand, is always lots of vanilla.
I'm glad I put it in there.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite.
There you go. Okay.
I feel like I've given Larceny like 8 tries, and I keep falling for.
Yeah, I think I'll be interested to see if this charred oak makes a difference. I'm optimistic about it. I'm hopeful, because I don't dislike this. It's not hitting my palate, but I don't dislike it. It's middle of the road. I will say this: if I got it for $16, I'd be a lot happier than I did for $26.
Totally. I don't know this, and we're not talking about flavor notes here, but just because I just said, oh, I don't really like it, and I want to say why. Yeah. To me, it tastes like a piece of fruit that's just turned. Yeah, and to me, it tastes like a cracker that's a little bit stale, like an unsalted, sort of flavorless cracker. Ooh, like a unsalted saltine. Like a Ritz if it was unsalted. Or a saltine. Remember those? Yeah, an unsalted saltine. My dad loves those still. Doesn't seem like something I would want. Ruby wants to know, Peach Coat better than last year's smoke, but still bad. Yeah, I completely agree. We've had a great summer, actually. I will say. Even what's come has come and gone quickly. Yeah, it's just this weekend. It's just an unfortunate weekend. Like, I feel like if it was any other weekend, you're at work or you're doing whatever, it's not a big deal. But you were like so excited for the long weekend, and then it just went. Yeah, everything we planned on is over with. Ruby Hart says, "How is Julie able to train?" Good question. Well, up until Friday, I've been chugging along outside. I've had a couple not great days that I ran through and I've kind of paid for it the next day. But we do have a treadmill. So this weekend, and I hate treadmills. I'll be perfectly honest. It's just like the miles do not tick off when you're just running in place.
Right.
But this weekend, I think Friday and Saturday, I think I ran the treadmill, which is, I'm glad that we have it. And that was a COVID purchase basically, because we couldn't go to the gym or anything or anywhere.
If you, if you're a runner, you'd like to follow along with the training and our races and all the things that we do, join our Strava club. We've had, it's a small group that's in there right now, but it's really fun. It's nice to see what everybody's up to, and it's fun to see people across the country. And as much as we're on the road, it's just kind of a fun thing to share. So yeah, it's gone pretty well. Julie, the funny thing is she never goes out when it's really smoky, except when she's out there, all of a sudden the smoke will blow in. So she'll go out when it's like 75 air quality.
Yeah, I'll be like,
and 30 minutes later,
it'll be fine.
30 minutes later, I'll look on the phone and I'll go, boy, it looks like it's getting worse out there. And it's like 400. So it moves in so quick. It's so hard to predict.
Yeah, and I'm always like the furthest point from home.
Yeah. So yeah, join our Strava club if you're interested in that. Aiden says Heaven Hill nut is better than Beam nut, and I don't disagree with that. It's a good question.
It's more of a subtle, yeah.
Question from Richard: have you started an infinity bottle? Hey, this is going to sound insane, right? Because I haven't started an infinity bottle. We haven't started an infinity bottle because I always go, I'm not that big on blends to begin with. A lot of times, most of the time, how could I expect to blend better than the experts? And yet here I am doing this.
I was just going to say that's what I'm doing.
I know. I can't explain why my brain works that way, or it doesn't work really. But that's how I feel about it.
Well, it's funny because sometimes we'll do challenges, like blind challenges or whatever, and at the end we'll just mix them all together, and we do do kind of see if it tastes better or worse depending. I feel like I always, like you said, like they have a job for a reason. And so most bottles I'm like, this is pretty good. Yeah.
The spicy peanut note, by the way, sorry, I got completely distracted by the sip I just took.
I'm apologies to all the Larceny fans, but I've put that to the side and
it gets so spicy. That is a wild drink. So yeah, no infinity bottle as of yet. I can't say we won't start one in the future. But yeah, the reasoning behind it is just because my brain is broken. I'm a weird guy.
Also, like maybe that was like you were thinking kind of along those lines when you came up with doing this, and so if this doesn't work out, maybe that'll be our next
maybe.
Series. All right, so Phil, we had a sample of each Taylor Barrel Proof 2020, a little half guy left over.
Just a little ounce left. Yeah,
that is what I'm going to be drinking for real.
That was left over from our first mystery whiskey tasting, which became 5 Sip Friday. That was a bottle from J-Bone.
J-Bone.
So thank you, J-Bone.
That was our very first one.
It was our very first one, yeah.
Aww.
Yeah, it was the end of Buffalo Trace month. And it was actually the next month, and we went right back into Buffalo Trace.
I know, that's so funny. Gosh, that feels like a long time ago. It was only a couple months ago. We've done a lot of videos this summer.
Yeah, a lot. Lyle says, who doesn't love a good saltine? They're better when they're salted, though.
When I was, like grade school or whatever, we used to come home, came home at whatever time it was, 3:30, and we would always have saltines and then American cheese. Remember when we just did American cheese singles? And then we would put them in the microwave and they'll get all melty.
I didn't even do that.
Oh, we always put them in and so it would just like, anyway, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Tim recommending the air purifier. We've actually gone through a couple of them. And
it's so dry here because we're in the high desert. So we've got a humidifier going. It feels like noise is always a part of the life. Yeah, if you like white noise, this is the house for you. That's true.
When does the Whiskey Mile video come out? Tyler, that's a good question. We've actually we've done some stupid experiments in the past with different people. We've never actually run a beer mile, but what do you got here? EHT. Good grief.
Yikes. We've just ramped it up to, yeah. We aren't in the kiddie pool anymore.
Good grief. We have 2 ounces left of that. We're going to compare that. We're going to do the 2020 versus the 2021 at some point.
You know, I've never thought about doing a whiskey mile because they always do the beer mile, which we may have mentioned this before or not. We have a couple friends who do ultras, and one of our friends literally can run a 100-mile race on beer alone. Like
pretty close. Beer and bacon.
Beer and bacon. So like whenever he comes in, we're like, "What do you need?" And he's like, "A beer," and then he just takes off and keeps going, and it's amazing.
Being support for people running ultra marathons is already like this incredible, like fun thing to do. That's like, it feels like you're really doing something epic, even though somebody else is doing all the work.
Yeah.
And then you see something amazing like that, and you're just like, wow, he's incredible.
I know, and I'm just like, give me oranges, and I'm gonna die now.
Yeah, I'd like oranges and pretzels, and then leave me alone for the next 6 weeks. But yeah, beer. I actually drank beer during my first marathon ever, running past the Widmer Brewery in Portland. They were sharing beer with us, and it was at mile 17. Some carbs and some effervescence. What more could be better than that? It was delicious.
But back to the original question, which was not the beer mile, it was the whiskey mile. That could be trouble.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, like, I guess you would just do a shot, right?
Depends on the whiskey.
Or you could just take it with you and just kind of like.
Yeah.
What if it was like, it would have to be like the, what do you call that when you're fast walking? The
speed walking?
A speed walking whiskey mile or whiskey challenge or something. Because like you'd want to like go fast, but like can't, I don't know.
You know, one of the last times I ran a marathon, I stopped at some point. They turned the half marathoners loose. The marathoners started really early, and then the half marathoners started on the back half of the course. Once the marathoners got there, it's really weird. It was on the coast. And I was running, and I came to a stop because there was a giant coyote standing right next to the road, just looking.
Oh, I remember this. Yeah,
and you actually got a photo of it.
Yeah.
And I turned around to see, like, is anybody else coming? Because it's a little weird to see one right there. I'm not worried about coyotes; they leave humans alone. But when you see one that close to the road, just standing waiting for you, you think, what's he up to? And so I turned around because I thought, well, I don't want to be the only one that goes past this thing because there's strength in numbers. And there was a power walker coming behind me doing the half marathon.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, I'll wait for that guy. So I stood there for about 15 seconds till he caught up. And I let that guy go on the side of me.
Oh, let him take one for the
because I thought, we'll let the power hiker deal with that. He's only on like mile 4. I was on like mile 17 at that point.
Hilarious. Sacrifice your fellow runner. That's probably not the motto of running. Or maybe it is. I don't know.
Maybe it is. Didn't Sisters used to have a beer relay race? It wouldn't surprise me. There's all kinds of fun stuff happening in Sisters.
Yeah.
Whiskey Eyes, Leon, and Trisha. Look who it is. Cheers. Welcome. Good to see you.
Cheers.
Man, it is hot in this house tonight.
Well, yeah, we can't open up any windows because, that happens.
Yeah, we might have mentioned that already.
Yeah.
Well, welcome. We've got another whiskey to pour yet.
I know. I feel. I don't know why it
Are you waiting on this one because you don't want to even touch it?
No, I feel bad because I didn't give it a glowing review. I guess that's the theme of this live stream, huh? I didn't give it a glowing review. So it gets
well, you don't do this to whiskey
chucked into a jar.
You don't do this to whiskey you're crazy about.
Yeah.
I mean, the Old Forester 100 is definitely the best of the whiskeys that we've done this with.
Yeah. Oh, poor old Crow. She's so. Yeah. Anyway.
I think I'll put a splash of this in my glass and see what happens.
Please do. I feel like I'm living the high life over here with my.
Yeah, you're definitely the fancy one tonight.
Yeah.
For now, I've got something coming. Tiny splash.
Okay,
Tiny
so
splash is enough.
So what are we doing with this one?
So this one is.
This is nuttier, right? So.
Yeah. So I think
the Jim Beam flavor profile for sure.
Part of the problem with this one for me is that it's just, it's 3 years aged. It doesn't have a ton of flavor. It's not especially. It's super sweet, but it's not especially flavorful. The mouth feels not all that great. I don't know if we can do anything about that, but my thought is, if we do a half and half on this one.
Oh, we're gonna do both.
Maybe maybe a little bit of each, or maybe a full-size sugar maple and like a half of a smaller piece of a barrel char that we take off on the other one.
Yeah.
I think that's the right idea.
Yeah.
Let's just see if we can wake this one up. And somebody's actually told me, I don't remember who it was, that the charred oak stave we'll definitely make this something different. It's a much better product in the end.
Then
So
should we just do char?
we could. I'm interested to know if the sugar maple does anything to it.
Okay. We could do a half-Z and half-Z.
That I like.
Like do one glass. I'd have to grab another mug, but like one that it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Tim's just not sure anything will save that aside from Coca-Cola. Fair point. Poor old crow. He's got the puking face.
I do feel bad. I mean, if you watch the old crow video, it was a no from the get-go, and then I feel like at the end I was trying to give her a little bit of love. Like I was like, "That's not so." Oh, did you just drink it?
This is worse than I remember.
No.
I actually didn't hate it when we first opened it. I didn't like it, but I didn't hate it.
I feel weird that we have 2 plastic bottles that we're pouring in.
I don't mind plastic bottles. It's when they're not good
This
whiskey.
one pours. How high am I doing this? All the way to the top?
You could come right up to here.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah.
Ooh, we might finish this off. I'm not going to be mad about this one.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that. You can put a little more in there if you want. Okay. The only people I've ever seen buy Old Crow are 90-year-olds clinging to things of their past. You know, that's not wrong. And also, do you know who really hates
it's like
this
Marlboro
bottle?
Reds.
The guy who hates this bottle more than anybody else that I know is J-Bone.
J-Bone?
Yeah, he'll tell you.
Oh, man, it's a J-Bone night.
Yeah, when he found out I bought this bottle, I think we offended him. I think we actively offended him.
Well, I think you bought some. I'm sure you bought something else while you were buying this too. But
I think I bought a pint of Elijah Craig small batch. That was like the weakest liquor store visit that I've done in a long time, and it was all just for the channel. It was all for the channel because I need it for tests. Because we're going to do Elijah Craig versus our single barrel store picks that we got.
I do remember you coming back and saying like, "I got a couple looks, I got a couple head shakes, I got a couple." Disappointments.
Yeah, the person behind the counter was like, "What are you doing? Like, you come in here all the time and you never shop this poorly." Like
but we're gonna show it all.
We have to do it all. If we're gonna do a channel that's gonna be interesting, we need to do interesting things.
Are we interesting?
Maybe. I have no idea. Coyote story. I just have to outrun you. Man, it's the truth.
I know.
I figured the guy that wasn't going to be in trouble was the guy that was walking like this.
I know. We hike a lot. All I keep thinking is like, oh man, if we really get into trouble, like, are you going to be that courageous person that rescues all your friends, or are you going to be that one that just pushes them over and then runs for it? I hope I will rescue my friends.
And this is
but
why
you won't know until we're in the situation.
We train hard. Who knows what'll happen? We could run fast in short bursts, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I could run for a while. I just very slowly.
That's true. We're much better at distance running slowly.
Yeah, so I'm already picked off because I'm not a sprinter. I have got 0 sprinting legs. Right. So the bear can go 35 miles per hour. I'm out.
Exactly. Things are getting desperate. Yeah, we're throwing that stuff around. Okay.
I'm so excited about this. Yeah. Actually, I'm really excited to see how they turn out.
That was the 4 bottles that we had, right? That was all of them?
And also before the 4 bottles, yeah. And we obviously they're not all gone yet, but I was just thinking we need to pour little samples of how they are currently in case these bottles somehow disappear.
That's not going to happen.
You never know. We could get
the only way the Old Crow is going to disappear is if you do a magic trick and accidentally throw it in the garbage can.
But because I need to taste them in their true form.
Sure.
In their,
Yeah.
In their birthday suit, and then.
Right. Sure, that's a thing. Well, I've got it. I'm gonna have another glass of whiskey, but what I took out was the Jack Daniel's single barrel proof that we have an extra leftover sample of.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want that though.
Oh.
Do I want that or do I want that Bull Run?
Have you tried it yet?
Strength? Yeah, we opened it a few weeks ago. That's MGP. I think I want the Jack tonight. Okay. Everything I've tasted has tasted like peanuts, so why stop there?
Bubblegum though on this one.
Yeah, I love this one.
Actually, I don't know. It's been a while.
Yeah, when I say it tastes like peanuts, I'm not slagging it. I love this one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not disappointed in my. Ooh, there's even a little left over for me.
There you go. Do you want me to just pour it right in there?
No, I do not.
Okay.
That would
Yeah, we're gonna start our infinity bottle with Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Proof and E.H. Taylor 2020 Barrel Proof. How about that?
You could do an infinity bottle that's all
people are
barrel proof.
screaming at their screens right now.
You're like, no, don't ever do that.
That bottle looks familiar. Yeah. We got a lot of those from Tim. We got several more. We've got not that one specifically. But we've got so many more samples to do. 5 Sip Friday wise, we are excited with how much fun we've had with that, and how like we just keep learning and stuff.
Learning but not getting better, or I don't know. We have moments, I think.
Hey, flashes of brilliance are better than nothing at all.
Flashes of mediocrity.
Right.
Sometimes I just like, throw something into the air and hope it unleashes something in your brain. Because you've got the brain that just traps all the knowledge. And
sometimes, it's hard to find it in there sometimes though. Peach Coke says as long as you don't include the Old Crow in the infinity bottle. Yeah, that seems right. Aiden says Jack Barrel Proof is going on allocation. Wow, that's crazy, because there's just it's always on shelves here. But I suppose when you think about it, our state just buys stuff by the case, and then they go on sale, like the Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Rye, $10 off right now. We looked at the label on it. It's because it was bottled 3 years ago or something like that. They just have tons of it, so they're trying to unload it. G Scurf wants to know, is Buffalo Trace overhyped? Do you mean the distillery or the bourbon? Because the bourbon itself, just Buffalo Trace bourbon, I don't think so.
That's a great value.
Yeah, I think that's a solid whiskey, and if you're getting in the mid $20 range, it's great. I think if you're talking about
to me, I mean, I said this earlier too. It's like it's so surprising. Like you just don't. Not that you don't think about it. It's just
it's easy to forget about.
It's just a staple on your shelf usually, if you can get it. And then when you have it, you're like, oh man, it's good. I'm a Buffalo Trace fan, unfortunately. There's very few things that I've tried from the distillery.
I think it depends on the bottle.
You just can't get it. Like we can't get a ton of it.
It depends on the bottle, whether or not you can get it, and how much you can get it for. So Buffalo Trace, if you're getting it for $25 or less, even like $26, $27 or less, I think that's a solid value. Taylor, if you're spending more than $50 for it, I don't think that's good value. Eagle Rare, we've tasted it against Russell's Reserve 10, and it didn't hold up. I think that there's some bottles that people are pursuing that aren't really worth it. The Taylor 100 Proof won our Bottled and Bond challenge for you, and Wilderness Trail beat it out for me. But that was a shock to me. I didn't expect it to perform that well. So certainly there are some good bottles there. I think that their straight rye may be a bit overpriced, even though it's really lovely. Their single barrel, I probably wouldn't buy that again. But the barrel proof E.H. Taylor and the Stag Junior, I don't think it's overhyped. That stuff's delicious.
I will say that Taylor was not one of, when we started this journey, not something that I actually liked. Like I thought it was like a ridiculous price point for what it tastes like. And now I'm kind of come around with it. It actually started with the rye and this barrel proof, right? The rest of them, I agree. Like I'm like, not really. I'm not going to chase those or do anything for those. So I guess it kind of depends on which ones. Like we can't get our hands on any of the allocated stuff.
No.
So I mean, we can't.
Well, we say that, but we've got Stag Junior, we've got E.H. Taylor barrel proof. We do okay, but you're talking about BTAC.
I'm talking about BTAC
that sort of thing. And I mean, we've got Weller on the shelf. That's another brand that I think most of you would agree with me on. The MSRP on the Weller stuff is quite fair.
Yeah.
If you're getting it marked up and if you're getting it on secondary, I got to be honest.
True.
I think I've said this a few times now. I'm still interested in tasting the 12-year. Never seen that. I'm interested in trying the single barrel just because I've never had it before, but not because I think it's going to be amazing. I'm just curious. As any collector would be of this stuff. But Weller, for me as a brand, as long as there's good competitors out there making wheated bourbon that's delicious, I'm not super excited about it. I think that there are some great whiskeys out there that deserve more attention. But to call Buffalo Trace in general overrated, that's some of it yes, some of it no. That's my answer. Also, Tim Evans says, did you try the kosher? We've never had any of the kosher stuff. Yeah. We're excited to try that. We hear great things.
Yeah.
Aiden says he gets asked for Buffalo Trace 15 times a day. People walk out if we don't have it. That's the kind of stuff that drives me absolutely crazy. people talking about, oh, how do you get that stuff? And they get angry at us for being able to get this stuff. And they're the same people that like walk in, ask for blands. If it's not there, they walk out. Well, if you're not buying anything, what makes you think that the liquor store is going to give you anything?
Well, and also, I mean, to be fair to owners, people that work in the liquor stores and stuff, like, it's not like you get to pick and choose what you get. Like, you just get what you get. So, I mean, it's just so,
yeah,
it's just a little bit frustrating. I do feel for people in the industry because, of course, everybody wants like the rare stuff, and the allocated stuff,
exactly.
And, you know, I mean, it's just not, it doesn't happen.
And that's to Aiden's point. You know, we don't see it from that side, and so you're dealing with. I assume that you're working in a liquor store. You're dealing with that. It's got to be maddening. Yeah. And I would probably have the exact same view if I were you. G Scurf says Brown Foreman is my distillery. There you go. That's a Julie thing. Did you get a Taylor Warehouse C? No, and we honestly didn't chase it because my understanding is that all Taylor comes from Warehouse C, so it didn't even occur to me that it was something to go after. What do you think? Did you get one, and do you like it, Peach Coke? I'm curious. That's another one that I would try, and if I were given the opportunity to purchase one and it was reasonable, I would go for it because I've never had it. But again, that's speaking as a collector. That's not as somebody that's really, really interested and obsessed with it. If I could get it for MSRP here in Oregon, I'd probably give that a go. Taylor small batch changes for me, seems to get better. That's what Tim Evans says. I will say this: if I'm smoking a cigar, Taylor small batch is my whiskey, and I don't smoke them. I mean, once a year. I don't smoke many cigars. For some reason, that combination, I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't smoke cigars, but I was just thinking how it gets better, and I was thinking about like once things open up, and you talk about that, how the flavors change. I don't remember what we were just drinking earlier this week. So telling thing that I just said, but we tasted it, and I remember being like, wow, this is like so much better than the first time that we drank it. Do you remember what it was that we drank? I don't even remember, but it was just like it had opened up a little bit more, and the flavors were better.
I think that might have been. I think that was the Taylor Single Barrel, wasn't it?
Was it Taylor?
Yeah,
oh, that'd be interesting.
Because you all of a sudden you really liked that one.
Yeah.
Aiden says Buffalo Trace is as good as plenty of other things like Elijah Craig, Old Forester 100, Wild Turkey 101. People don't freak out about those. I call that overhype. Yeah, again, that's that perspective of being there when people are losing their minds over it because it sounds like it's in an area where it's not super readily available. Totally understand that. Ruby says Buffalo Trace is still my favorite everyday sipper. I'm sipping it now. Yeah, when it's readily available.
You can't go wrong. $26.
We don't have anything against it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
There's Thomas. How you doing, Thomas? Welcome. Are you going to include a rye with the bourbon? Personally, I don't care for rye. Are you talking about with the staves?
He just brought this up today, and he asked me what
I was trying to pick one out, but honestly, I'm on the not so old granddad tip on this one. I like all my ryes too much. I don't want to mess with them.
Well, and that's exactly what, like, he was just like, we should do a rye. Like, we should throw a rye in there. Like, but I like all ryes. There's not, I mean, I don't want to, and I don't want to mix, like, I just looked over my shoulder and saw that Sagamore. I think that was the one rye that I wasn't crazy about.
Yeah,
but it was $80, and I was like, I'm not throwing an $80.
No, that's the cask strength. And again, that cask strength is from a collector standpoint. That cask strength tastes like grilled pineapple and that sort of thing. It's unique enough. I love having it on the shelf because I'll pull that out when somebody's looking for something that I've never tried before, and it'll blow their mind. They'll go, "What in the world is this?" I love that.
You did bring up like doing like a Rittenhouse or something, so those come in about $20-some.
24 here, 24. Maybe.
But I love the Rittenhouse. Like, I mean, I would just drink it normally, but it's I put it in my old-fashioned and stuff. So I'm like, I mean, maybe it would make it better, like a little bit oakier, a little bit. It doesn't need to be sweeter.
Yeah, honestly, the one that I looked at was the Michter's, the straight rye, because I thought
I know, and I told him no.
We may never see Michter's toasted barrel here, so why not? That might be good.
I was like, that's so delicious.
Look who's here. Well, first off, Richard Hoyt saying I've stopped buying secondary market anything. We've never bought anything on the secondary market, never will. We don't want to support it. Yeah. So we don't blame people who do. Collectors are going to collect. We get it, but we don't buy anything there.
Yeah.
Well, look who's here. Bourbon of the week. Good evening, Chris. Chris earlier today was only 7 subscribers away from 1,000. So if you don't know, and most of you we think know, but if you don't know, on YouTube,
give him a thumbs up.
The world, everything changes when you hit 1,000 subscribers. As a YouTube creator, you have a ton more opportunities. It's not just about making money, but about the things that you can do, the ways that you can interact with other channels. You can tag other channels who you're working with, and the network gets stronger. So he had He was 7 shy earlier today. So Chris, let us know. Did you get your 1,000 yet? We are excited. We're watching. Bated breath. We are keeping an eye on it, bud.
Give him a subscribe if you
we,
haven't already.
We love his channel. And actually that list that you did, was that earlier this week or was it last week? There's this thing that like shows up a bunch of random things and you have to put them in order, like rank them A through F or whatever. I'm really enjoying that video. I got through half of it on the treadmill earlier yesterday. I'm looking forward to finishing that one. It's a good video. We get told get more allocations. It's literally in the name. Aiden, I don't know how you do it, man. Man.
I love it. Just do it. It's like everything else. Like, we'll just go. It should be easy, right? It's not. It's not easy.
This is great. Every time he walks into a store, he's going to ask if they have Blanton's. The stores that where we go in that I know people,
yeah,
I'll go in and go, I'll take a case of Blanton's. Like that's how I come in the door, kind of noisy. If there's nobody around, I don't bother people. But if there's nobody around, I say it loud enough that people come out of the background and they're like, oh, it's this guy again.
Yeah.
I like to joke around with it because there's a great story somebody told me at the liquor store where they said that this lady came in and she was looking for Blanton's and they said, we don't have it, but delivery day is X or Y, whatever it was. Come back in, maybe we'll have it. It's on order. We don't know if it'll be here or not. She came back in on delivery day and she said, I'll take a Blanton's. And they said, it didn't come in. We don't have it. And she said, I'll take a case of it. And it's not
have it.
It's not that you're not a high roller. It's that it literally isn't here. It is not in the house.
Yeah, you're just gonna have to keep coming back.
Yeah.
That is the tricky part too, right? Like you hope it's coming, and then it comes 3 weeks later. You just don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Peach Coke did get the warehouse C. Great for MSRP, but it's just 10-year-old small batch. You know, it does make a difference. The single barrel that we've got is 11 years, 7 months, and again, effectively small batch, but single barreled. It did make all the difference. It's delicious. David Babcock, Milwaukee, Oregon, represent. We got Stag. Tried it Friday. What do you think of it? Do you like it?
Yeah.
We're kind of, obviously, if you saw the video today, you know how we feel about it.
I'm surprised. I'm not that I want to harp on this again because you can see everything you need to see in the video, but I was surprised they tasted quite different.
Yes.
15 and 16. I don't know why I always think things are gonna taste the same with maybe just like one little, tweak.
Sure.
They were totally different. Both delicious, of course.
Completely agree.
Why not? Can I steal?
Do you want some of this Jack Daniels?
Yeah, can I steal?
Of course.
A little bit.
This, by the way, this Jack Daniels, this Jack Daniels single barrel. This is the one that we got from Fred Fraser White Lightning. There was a leftover of it.
Mm-hmm.
This one is better than the single barrel that we've got. This is absolutely delicious. I like.
Oh, it's better than the one we have.
I like this one. I like the one that we've got, but this one reminds me of the one we had before this. That was unbelievable. So there definitely seems to be some variance. We haven't tried them side by side, but that is. Man, that is so good. This is the one that I confused for 1792 Foolproof a couple weeks ago when we tried it blind. Super good. Cosmos Mariner in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Taylor Small Batch this weekend priced at $150. No, that's a hard pass. Absolutely. That's crazy. That's $100 more than it should ever be sold for as far as I'm concerned.
Whoa, $150? I'm sad about that. I do feel very fortunate. I mean, we say this all the time in our videos. Like, we do feel fortunate because we are in a price-controlled state. It is crazy, some of the prices.
Yeah, we can't, honestly, the price-controlled state, it sucks in some ways, but it's usually pretty good. We'll take it.
Well, and I was just thinking, like, we would never have even gotten the channel off, off the ground.
No, because we'd be doing the same 4 bottles over and over. You guys would be like,
stop pricing this stuff.
You'd be like, stop doing Evan Williams White and Black. Okay.
Like, it's delicious. This is all you're getting. Here's
Tim likes Sazerac Rye. Tim, we really like that Sazerac Rye too. And speaking about daily sippers, daily sippers that are good for Sazerac or good for rye, people that want to try rye. And look who just woke up from his post-dinner nap. I just bought a bottle this past weekend because I tried it at a bar not too long ago. Richard White checking out. Gotta go. Love you guys. Love you too, Richard. Thanks for checking in. It was great to see you tonight. So Tim's talking about Sazerac Rye. Would you grab that bottle with the green label on it right there?
Are you talking about the George?
Yes, yes.
Oh boy. Norman just took off the microphone.
Well, that'll happen. All right, so this bottle right here, if you don't like Dickel, if you don't like Tennessee whiskey, if you've got a problem with that, we get it. But one thing, you might not know this about this George Dickel. This is something that I didn't know until I tried it at a bar recently. And I liked it so much that I've been waiting for a chance to buy it. So this is, I thought it was actually 2 year. This is 5-year-old MGP rye that Dickel sources from MGP. It's not made by Dickel. And then they charcoal mellow it, or they chill filter with their charcoal mellowing process. So it goes through the Dickel process, but it's not overly Dickel rye. And of course, this isn't open. We just bought this the other day, but I like this a whole lot. And I got this bottle for $19. 5-year-old rye, 19 bucks, 90 proof, made by MGP. And people go crazy for that 95.5 MGP. So if you're walking past this bottle, or if you see it on a bar shelf and you can get a taste of it, you want to try it, I highly recommend it. Don't sleep on this one, because this is an interesting bottle. You might find out that you really like this one. And for the price, it's in that Sazerac rye area. Sazerac rye is very unique. It's got a Buffalo Traceness to it. I get all that. But this bottle in our area sells for $10 less than Sazerac rye. I know Sazerac rye is cheaper out there for a lot of people, but if you can't find it and you're looking for something to replace it, the proof point, the age, and just quality of it, this is a good whiskey. I actually really like this one. I wish that I had bought this one sooner. Trisha says she loves rye. Of course.
I do too.
Yeah, we're crazy about it. We're discovering it more and more. We're crazy about it.
I know. I just had a rye over the weekend, just randomly. Like, I think we were gonna watch a movie or something. I was trying to pick something out, and all I wanted was a rye, and I just kept saying, like, I can't believe how much I'm loving ryes. They're just so good.
What did you choose that night? Was it the Wild Turkey rye?
Sorry. Woo!
I got right on top of you, huh? This is good whiskey.
This smells like barrel proof. Like, the other one was like didn't have such a barrel proofness to it. This one I can tell is already gonna be.
Does this hit you like that Jack Daniel's normally does though? This bottle is really, there's something special about this one.
I was a little surprised because I forgot. I always forget what I'm pouring. Kind of like what I forget what we're doing on our live streams.
Yeah, absolutely. Aiden's absolutely right here, because we see it happen all the time. And when I say we, it's because I spend a lot of time at the liquor store. I love my people at the liquor store. I go to, what's better than going in and just talking whiskey with people that know it better than anybody else? So be extra nice to your liquor store employees, because they've been keeping you going through COVID and everything else that's going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's right. Badgering employees is the worst way to get rare whiskey. Between that and just going in and asking for something, if they don't have it, walk out.
Isn't that a life lesson?
That's not how you build a relationship. Absolutely.
I feel like this is a life lesson. Just be nice, and people will be nice to you.
It's nice, Aiden. We're glad you're here. This is good information.
I want to just mention that I just had a sip of this. It's good. Isn't that nice? It's got a nice nuttiness to it here. It's not overpowering. It's just that flavor is more subtle.
I could rave about this whiskey. This is Jack Daniel's single barrel proof. Fred Frazier, White Lightning gave us this sample for 5 Ship Friday, and there was an extra bottle in there, and it's just so good. This is fantastic.
Yeah, it had just a roller coaster of
you've been all over the map tonight.
Bourbons tonight.
David Babcock asking, so Bull Run, we've got the 13-year Pinot finished, which is fantastic. This is MGP light whiskey, 13-year. I love that. I love how they're just pouring some of the weirdest stuff. They're doing a lot like some of the other distilleries, like a Cat's Eye or something like that. They're finding older, rare whiskey that MGP has. I mean, consider it must be lying around for the price that they're selling it for, because this is a $35 bottle, 13 years aged, and then they finished it in Pinot casks for at least 6 months. That's a crazy deal. And then this one here, the barrel strength, again, we're talking MGP bourbon, just fantastic. I like both of these bottles, and I even like their 90 proof bourbon. We bought that bottle in the early summer, and it was gone by midsummer. It was such a great deal. That was $30 again. And I think that was in higher proof as well, but I like what they're doing. I like that they're recognizing that there's great whiskey out there that's available, and I don't know what the future holds for them. If they're going to be doing their own thing or whatever it might be. Yeah. But we like that Bull Run stuff. We haven't gotten any single barrels. We understand that there is one coming to Central Oregon. I think it's Trailhead that's getting it, but I don't know when or what it's going to be. By the way, I tried the Woodinville that Trailhead's getting.
Is it a wow? I haven't tried it.
Man, that's about as good as it gets. It's amazing.
Do you know when it's coming?
I don't actually know. By the way, Bourbon of the Week says 5 subscribers left. If you're not subscribed to Bourbon of the Week, come on, hit them up. That's
Norman says please.
Norman says, please, absolutely.
Yeah.
We actually just collaborated with Bourbon of the Week on a video that's coming out very shortly. So if you're not subscribed, check him out. Chris does a great job. Got a baby on the way, little baby, little human. We don't know anything about that.
No, we don't. Yeah, this is our little human.
Yeah, we have we have a cat. We have a lot of whiskey.
I guess it's not really a human, but we pretend.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Yeah, don't behave that way. A person that has a wrench could post his link. Great point. Let's see. Well, we need to pick a wrench. We'll do it as soon as this chat is over. We will reach out to some folks, and we'll get that done. We'll get it up. We honestly we didn't even know that we would continue doing live streams here. We've just been enjoying doing them, so we're doing more and more than we ever expected. So we will reach out to you folks that have volunteered. Eric just subscribed to Bourbon of the Week number 996. That a boy. Ruby subscribed. All right. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. We do like, we've done collaborations with Bourbon of the Week and Whiskey Neighbor before. We've got a nice little thing going on with them. We've had some live streams. We've had a couple of videos that we've collaborated on. We really like working with them. So certainly throw them, subscribe if you haven't. Mr. Great Shot says there's a Blanton's at my local store, but he wants $150. Yeah, hard, never. Yeah, Peach Code. Yeah, that works great. I just walk in and say, "Do you know who I am?" And they go, "No," and I go, "Okay,
cool. I'll take
what's on sale?"
Yeah, I'll take that thing over there.
All right. Well, yeah. I go in. I go, "Do you know who I am?" They say, "No." I go, "I'll take an Old Crow and a pint of Logic Rye."
Yeah. It is funny. I mean, we've been drinking bourbons for a long time. Me more so in the last couple of years. But I do feel like
now when I go,
like I used to go into the liquor store with the eye of like, what's on the shelf that's unique? Because I would only buy it for like birthdays or special occasions or whatever. But now I feel like I know some stuff out there. So now even if the allocations aren't in or the whatever, like you can make some educated. And I think that's because of YouTube, to be perfectly honest.
Totally.
Like, to watching all the various channels and getting all the tips and.
Yeah, then this network is amazing. Yeah. And the people that are in the chat, like I see so many of you when we're in other chats, the Mash and Drum, Bourbon Junkies, Shelf Turds, It's Bourbon Night, ADHD Whiskey, of course, always has a great chat going. We see so many of you out there, and the communication, the sharing of ideas, the sharing of knowledge and information, it's incredible. This is really the best way to learn about things before you go to your local store.
Because it's not always easy to drop whatever it is. It could be $20, it could be $70, it could be more than that, right?
Totally.
Like you want to make sure that people like it. And what I found really helpful, especially about the whole community and, interacting with all of you too, is like you kind of get to know people's palates and like how and whose palates you're more like. Like Phil and I have completely different palates.
Totally.
So like if you're watching the video, sometimes you're like, okay, she hates it, but I follow him, so I'm going to get it, right? So it's just really interesting, and it's kind of like a little tip.
Yeah, absolutely.
To help, which is hopefully try to be educational and fun.
Yeah. We're keeping it real and keeping it safe.
Keeping it real, yeah.
Might grab the Dickel Rye if you see it for a good price. I mean, right now it's $3 off in Oregon. That's what made me pull the trigger. I've been wanting to buy it for a while, and after I tried it at the bar, and finally did. And the same thing. There's another Oregon one here.
It is kind of hilarious because you probably paid like $10 at the bar, and then you bought the whole bottle for $20.
Actually, it was the Ranger Station in Portland, and I think I got that pour for like $4.50 or $5. Not bad. It was a good pour too.
Yeah, that's
we like that place. Though there's another Oregon one if you want to pop that guy back over there.
Oh, sure.
Another Oregon one that I'm enjoying right now that's another MGP, I believe, is the James Oliver Rye Whiskey. It's $36. It's 100 proof. I don't know too much about it, but it was another one that I tried at a bar. Really enjoyed it. Rose City Distilling Company, Portland, Oregon, distilled in Indiana. So we assume it's MGP again. This one really solid, and we bought that on a trip a little while ago, and kind of been putting a hurt on it. I like this bottle a lot. So you're probably going to see this one on the channel in the future. But James Oliver Rye Whiskey, again, MGP. There's so much good stuff in the barrels at MGP. Who knows what people are going to find next? All right.
This Jack Daniels is pretty good. Man, I went like do. I
gotta look up
my pores today.
We got to rewatch the chat later on so we can see these emojis of Norman. I wish StreamYard would let you show the emojis.
Yeah.
Ruby likes Pikesville. Hey, everybody likes Pikesville, right? It's so good, so good.
I feel like we have a couple videos coming out, and we mentioned Pikesville in like 2 of the 4 videos.
I mean, it's constant. Yeah. And by the way, we were talking a minute ago about like when you go to a liquor store, having some awareness of what else is there. And if there's not allocated stuff, if you can't get fancy stuff, what should you buy? Especially if you're a new bourbon drinker. We have either later on this week or next Monday. We're not sure when we're going to release it because we haven't been able to get all the videos done that we want to. We do have a best bourbons under $40 list that our Patreons helped us out with. So that is going to come out at some point certainly in the next 7 days. So keep your eyes open for that.
Not seen the Russell's. We haven't had the Russell's rye, right?
Russell's rye? We've had it in the past. We just don't have any on the shelf. We haven't had it in a while. And actually, the Russell's 6-year is on sale in Oregon right now for $35, $34. So every time I walk in, I go, I should probably get that at some point.
Just want it all.
I do. I mean, how could you not? How could you not?
Love it. Pikesville. I'm thinking about the Pikesville Ruby.
Excited about that, but Woodinville, absolutely. It is worth being hyped up about. We've got this Woodinville that we got from 3rd Street not too long ago that was private select, single barrel, bottled exclusively selected for. So they didn't actually, I don't believe, pick their own bottle at 3rd. And this is still an amazing bottle, one of my favorite bottles this year. But Trailhead and actually Ben South, I think they got this pick together. They actually went up there and chose it, and I always like their picks, but it's a hit.
And their bottles.
It's great. David Babcock. Geez, I'm going to be able to speak at some point. David Babcock, subscribe $9.98. All right. Chad Wallace in the house. Hey, Chad. Geez, Gareth, support a small glass of BT. I'm not a hater. That's the spirit. Well done. Aiden is number 1,000. Guys, we can't thank you enough. Way to go. Bourbon of the week. Super fun channel. We love collaborating with him. We're going to keep doing it too. John at Whiskey Neighbor, solid reviewer. Absolutely, James. He's one of our absolute favorites. I only wish that we had more time to watch him because he's a busy man. Yeah. He's always up to something. But we don't know that much about Canadian whiskey because we don't get a ton of it around here, at least not the stuff he tries, or Scotch. We implicitly trust his opinion on those things. Yeah, and it's always interesting to go back and forth about, things that you're just like dying to get here. Like they can get up there and things he's obviously dying to get, he can't get it all. But just even the price difference and all that kind of stuff, it's just really fascinating. As soon as we get our trip to Canada planned in the next year or two, we're gonna go see him. They just opened the board. Well, I guess we're gonna go see him whether he likes it or not. We're gonna visit him and it's gonna be great. We'll just stop at his door, knock, and be like, "Hey, John, do you mind if we park in your front yard?" Jim's here. Jim. Hello, Jim. Cheers. Welcome. Hope you had a great long weekend. Tim is a new member. Welcome, Tim. Thank you so much. Welcome. Means the world to us. There you go. Look at this, Mr. Great Shot. Thank you so much, everybody. Well done. Well done. Congratulations, Bourbon of the Week, of course. Thank you, Doug. That's very nice of you. Thank you. We work hard and we try to do good. We're getting better at it, I think. I try. We're working on the equipment. We want to do better, and we actually have had a lot of fun with our outdoor stuff and the live streams. I think. I'll be honest, I like all of this interaction. There's only so many weird comments I could make on a static video that you can enjoy even more in person live. Very true. Very true. Luck and frequency gets the bourbon. That's true. That's absolutely true, Tim Evans. You have to. Sometimes it's just walking in the door at the right time. Totally, 100%. Yeah. Love this community completely. Yeah. Where else are you going to get this sort of, not just from us, we're talking about the community at large, the information and the people that are willing to share things. It's just fantastic. Yeah. Peach Coke says the rumor Sam Houston 15 will arrive in Oregon in a month.
Ooh. Wait,
Say
do we have
now.
a little sample of
We
it?
got a little sample from Jeff Perkins.
I feel like we keep saving it because we know how good it's supposed
Well,
to
we're
be.
gonna put it against one of the other bottles that we got from
Okay.
him.
This is good news.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I've watched some recent videos where that's topped lists for the year already, and man, we're so far behind.
Yeah, we are.
I think because we're not allocated, because we're an MSRP price controlled state. They're like, you can just all get it later.
Yeah, it's so true. Double Oak is darn good. It is. It is. We actually just we were preparing our samples for the road the other day, and our Patreons are going to see that we did a time lapse while we were preparing those samples. We're going to share that tomorrow. So, but that's one of them that was included because it's interesting. It's unique. It's not available here.
Mm-hmm.
We had to get that one in Washington State, but really good whiskey. Jim's working on a Knob Creek cask strength rye.
Nice.
Yeah, that one will get right after you. That's a those cask strength Knob Creeks, they'll get right on top of you if you're not careful. Look at this. Bourbon of the week. Chris.
Hey,
cheers, bud.
1,000 subscribers.
Oh, we love you. Hey, Whiskey Nose is here. Welcome, Whiskey Nose. Cheers.
Welcome.
How good is this whiskey?
So
Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Proof, by the way. Gift from our friend Fred Frazier. That's what we're sipping on right now, although mine is gone.
I finished mine too. I'm just like
plowing through them.
I was gonna say plowing through, and I was like, I don't know if that's a good turn of a phrase. I don't know.
Jumping over to the shelf turds. See you next time. Thanks, Tim. Thanks for visiting. We don't blame you one bit.
Nope, they're fun. Super fun.
Rye Guy with a super sticker. We're going to have to check up on that later to see what it was. But thank you so much, Rye Guy. We appreciate the support.
Thank
it means
you.
the world to us.
What do you want to do? Is there anything that you want to close out the live stream with? I could have like one more little taster.
Tell them the Bourbon Van sent you. Absolutely. We love shelf turds. They love us too, I think. They give us every indication that they enjoy our
They're
content.
hilarious. I find them so funny.
We sometimes, after a live stream, when they do a live stream at night and we can't catch it, we'll watch it in the morning with breakfast. It's a great way to wake up. I wish the shelf turds had a morning show. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh,
you tell them we said
that. Awesome. They probably have like life to do during the day.
Versus, well, I'm pretty sure they have offspring. We don't need to worry about any of that.
Yeah. So what are you saying? We should have a morning show? No,
I think we'll just watch their morning show.
Yeah.
Wildlife and Whiskey, welcome. Where have you been? Man, we haven't seen you in forever.
Yeah. It's all right. I was just telling Phil that maybe we should have one more pour before we sign off.
I think we should.
I know.
Aiden says I got to go harass David on shelf turds. Cheers.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining, Aiden. It was great talking to you. We appreciate all of your perspective. Absolutely. Too many samples to drink. Rough life. Yeah, Jeff, you contributed to that. Thank you. You're the man.
Jeff really.
I'll tell you what. We've got a handful of people who have contributed so much to this channel. It's just been amazing. Oh, what do you got there?
I'm gonna do a little Redwood Empire. Emerald Giant.
Look at you. All right. That's
a little.
Boy, that's a good whiskey. We just talked about that whiskey on a video that's coming out.
I know.
Wednesday, I believe.
Just give it a little sip.
Rye Guy's a new member. Welcome, Rye Guy. We appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's
we were showing the love to some ryes today. I love the ryes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, I'm going all over the place with my noses and palates today.
Well, that's what you do.
Yeah.
Eric Larson, thank you so much. Thanks for the support. Thanks for the reminder. That like button, it helps us a ton. Helps the channel a ton. Mm-hmm. Keith says you guys are the best. Keith, you're the best.
Thanks, Keith.
Keith, I see you on the bike there. I see you hustling on the bike. Did you join us on Strava? Have you done it? I'm going to put this up one more time. I keep putting this up there. I know people are probably annoyed by it, but we love it. We absolutely love seeing what people are up to.
We said runner, but you could be a biker.
You could be a runner, you could be a biker. We actually could do a biking club as well. We haven't, but we could.
Could it just be all-encompassing?
You
don't have multiple?
Strava doesn't let you do it, but it's a thing to think about.
I don't know.
Join us if you can.
It looked like you were a road biker. Street
bikers wear leather.
True. My friend was trying to get me into mountain biking last summer. Loved it, but because I'm running the marathon today, I can't risk any unnecessary injuries. Which biking, I go 1,000%.
Much too
I'm
hard.
ramping whatever ramps are out there with no,
Yeah, reckless abandon.
no thought to the injuries at my age that I could sustain. So I had to put that on hold. But I'm excited to get back to biking. I love it.
I am too. We have some cool mountain bike trails around here. We like to put a GoPro on the helmet and ride the mountain bike trails, and that's the type of outdoor stuff that we put on Patreon. So
you can just hear me going like, woo!
Yeah, you can hear Julie just screaming nonstop like she's on a roller coaster. It's great. Cheers, Whiskey Eyes. Thank you so much for joining us. 2:23 a.m. He's in a late night mode. Yeah, absolutely. Nice. I bet.
Ooh, wow. This
Sign off with the Elijah 18.
Hey, you could do that.
I want something.
No.
I'm excited for something a little more.
Hey, this has a little mintiness to it.
It's also got cat hair on it.
Everything has cat hair.
Ooh.
This actually is really nice. I actually feel like this is a great. We haven't eaten dinner yet, so we're gonna do tacos after this.
Oh, are we? Hot dog.
Go.
G Scurf with a kitty and a super sticker. Again, we're gonna have to check out the chat later to see the super sticker. I love that photo. That's one of my favorites.
I love it.
Every time he comments on a video, I'm so excited.
I need to pay more attention to people's profile pics because they are always the best, right?
Right.
Like I'm always just have such a boring profile pic, but I need to
up
my game.
My favorites are G Scurf, and I'm gonna go back to Jeff Perkins. Look at that dapper young man. Mm-hmm. Look at that. I love that photo.
I love it. Yeah.
Richard wants to know nothing for old people who walk, eh? I'll have you know this, Richard.
Walking counts.
It counts. It counts on Strava. And a few years ago, when the gorge caught fire, the Columbia Gorge, we did we put together
kind of a fundraiser. I don't know if it was fun.
It was a race where everybody. The idea was over the course of a week you'd run a 50K, so 31 miles.
Yeah.
And my dad.
He did.
He walked it. He won the over 70 category. He walked it.
Awesome.
So yeah, absolutely. Join in. Road biker, bourbon lover, Rye Not Wheat. Jeez, did we just become best friends?
Love it.
Patrick says this is turning out to be a rye show. Still haven't acquired the taste. Feels like I'm missing out. Patrick, I kind of want to I feel like we should counsel you. I kind of want to
Hey, I'm gonna say. You don't have to like rice.
No, there's nothing wrong with it.
It's such a different taste.
Yeah, it completely is different.
Yeah.
And it's also interesting too. Like sometimes I feel like people are like, oh, if you like bourbons but not ryes, try this bourbon that is this rye that's very bourbon-like. So like a Sazerac or
there are
Old Forester rye or something like that you would maybe think is a bourbon instead of a rye. But I wonder if maybe the trick isn't going full-on rye.
I would agree with that.
And experience it as a totally different, unique expression of whiskey.
I would agree because there's been a lot of, 5 Sip Fridays or samples that we've received from other people that I've tried and we're like, wow, this kind of this drinks like a bourbon, but we know it's a rye just by some of the mintiness or the spearmint or whatever rye spices that come through.
I would actually make a recommendation if you haven't had it yet. This bottle right here, Redwood Empire Lost Monarch. It is a Boo Rye. It's a combination of bourbons and ryes. This bottle is getting a ton of love right now. There's still a lot available, although it looks more and more like it's getting harder to find. This one really hits my palate perfectly, and I know that it hits a lot of other palates out there perfectly, so it might be a good place to go for you.
And Ruby mentioned it earlier that Pikesville was the very first rye that I ever had. It literally tastes like, what do we call it? The dining experience, there's cherry pie, cola. It doesn't taste, it doesn't taste like a bourbon, but it doesn't really taste like some ryes either. It's just its own beast.
Yeah, that's a fantastic. Geez, you're making me kind of want to have a Pikesville right now. Actually, would you grab that bull run for me? I'm gonna go for it. I'm doing that one now.
Oh.
Decision made. Peach Coke wants to know if we're doing tacos at El Sancho. No, we're homegrown. We love El Sancho though.
Wow, I'm so bad at this. Look at that. So I've been trying to get Phil to go to El Sancho for 2 months now. Not that to get him to go. We've gone a million and a half times, but
this is good.
It's the
Jeez, that's a cork that means business right there.
Yeah.
Start with Nictered Rise and work out from there is what Tim says.
Oatmeal cookies.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. It tastes like oatmeal cookies with raisins and butterscotch chips. That's good whiskey.
Maybe the goal, like maybe not goal, but maybe to get into Rise, you just have to go to the dessert route. So we did the dining experience. We did oatmeal cookies with the Nicters. Old Forester Rye is just cherry candy.
Totally. So Wildlife Whiskey says Casey Rye is what got me in the door. Casey Rye actually reminds us a lot of just Knob Creek bourbon. It doesn't strike us as being that far off. So that might be an easy leap for you. Or at least it has the familiar notes that you recognize. Although that's not always great. Sometimes you taste a whiskey and you go, oh, I love this bourbon. Then you try the rye and go, why does it have the weird sort of edges like the bourbon does? You never know what you're going to like and what you're not. Patrick says he loves Lost Monarch and it's always available here. Yeah, in that case, that's my recommendation. That's the one that has real rye notes to it. The mintiness on the back end. There's rye spice.
Yeah.
The lemon zest, some of the citrus stuff there. That's sort of the bridge, I feel like, between bourbon and rye.
Yeah.
He says he's a hophead with beer too. Don't like wheat beers. I'm on Strava, but I'm 60 years old, not as fast anymore. Doesn't matter how fast you're going. Just matters that you keep going.
True.
And Julie is the wheat beer drinker. I'm the. Is there something in the fridge drinker?
I feel like you can tell that I'm not from Oregon because if you know anything about the Pacific Northwest area, it's that like everyone loves their IPAs and the hoppier the better. And I'm totally over it. Just give me like a Pilsner, a Hefeweizen, whatever, a Belgian. I just don't want all that stuff anymore.
And my favorite thing is a lager because I can have it as
a lager.
I can have a beer with a whiskey back, and it's a nice combination. Eric says Rare Breed Rise is stellar, and it is. We actually just finished a bottle of that last night. It's delicious. I actually just finished a bottle of that last night. We have another one on the shelf, though, thankfully. And actually, there's a lot of that on the shelf right now in Oregon. Why is there so much of that on the shelf in Oregon? Why are you guys not buying it? People who live in Oregon.
I know, all you Oregonians whiskey. Get it. I don't know what it's doing there.
It reminds me of when the Jack Daniel's Single Barrel 2020 Limited Edition Rye was on the shelf, the barrel proof. It was there for like 3 weeks. Every time I went in, I had a bottle already. I felt bad trying to buy another bottle.
Yeah, we were trying to whiskey karma it and being like, we're not going to get it.
Why is it still on the shelf?
Somebody
it was crazy. So right now there's a ton of Rare Breed Rye. I'll probably buy one more bottle of it. It's that good.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm so glad we did this today.
Me too. James recommended some art
this
bag
is
there.
Like
it's a wild ride there.
I gotta be honest,
comfort zone.
I did a lot of going through all the closets this weekend because our plans got canceled. So I was like, cool, it's a great opportunity to just clean house. I feel like I do this like 5 times a year where I just start getting rid of all of possessions. And then I got to donate all the stuff, to Goodwill today. This is definitely the highlight of my entire, I'm like so pumped to be talking to all of you guys.
This is so fun.
I'm having such a good time.
G-Scurf, Old Overholt, Best Kept Cheap Secret. We actually like that 100, the bonded bottle a lot. The 100 proofer. We wound up using it mostly for rye ginger because the spice on that bottle, for a hot summer day, a rye ginger with a bunch of ice in it, that's delicious. Yeah. I love that cat food. That's great. Jonathan says Lost Monarch. Yes, haven't seen it lately though. Comes and goes. We don't see it a ton. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Eric's out of here. Cheers, Eric. Thank you so much for joining us. Great chatting with you. I need another bottle like I need a hole in my head. And now Phil just talked me into finding a Lost Monarch. You're welcome, Jim. Happy to help.
Glad to talk to somebody else who's getting bottles. So just us.
By the way, we just tasted a pair of whiskeys from Jim that it'll be on the channel at some point.
Yes, we're trying to figure out which day.
We're not sure when we're going to release it, but wild ride from Jim. Thank you, Jim.
It's a wild ride. Wow. I will agree.
Pikesville Rye 6 here. Just like cinnamon graham cracker to me, it's great. It is great. We always talk about that being in that old-timey diner experience.
Yeah.
The vanilla ice cream, the Coke, the finishes with the chocolate cake with sprig of mint. So good.
Yeah, I will say, some of our really great friends back home, they were trying to get into something, and we mentioned the Pikesville, and it's been a staple on their shelf for years now. Or maybe not years, but at least 2 years. So
Sure, yeah. Ruby's pumped. We're pumped. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Peach Coke Old Overholt 114 on its way to Oregon.
114. Is this like to take
It's
us away from
rye. It's the rye version of OGD. Same brand. It's Jim B.
Really?
Yeah. No, I've been that there. If there's one bottle that I've been harassing liquor store folks about it's that bottle, and they're like, "Why do you care so much about that?" Because it's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be fun.
Old Overholt, which is my nemesis.
Yeah, you don't know how to say it. That's what it is.
No,
it's not
I know.
the whiskey.
No, exactly. Which I,
You said it pretty good right there.
I know. I've been practicing.
Yeah.
So that I.
That's the skills.
Yeah.
Sounds great to me. Richard wants tacos. Have some tacos, Richard. We're happy to help.
I know. I made some fajitas last night. I'm gonna be honest. Homemade fajitas, not the same. They're missing like something.
They were delicious. They were delicious.
They were delicious, but there's something about them coming out on the cast iron skillet. They're all sizzling, and then of course they have the guac and the sour cream and all the good stuff. And I only have what's in the fridge, so maybe I did think about. We do have a cast iron skillet. I was thinking about getting it out of our camping stuff.
Yeah,
and then that was just too much work.
That's way too much work.
It was good. It just wasn't.
James, we do like that Ardbeg Ted, by the way. The 10 is very interesting. And actually, what did we have that we liked so much? The Oban 14. So we're not big Scotch drinkers, but we did get the chance to try some stuff. That one was real good.
That was really interesting. I feel like we're privileged to be invited over to try a bunch of scotches, and we're not. Well, I'm not a big Scotch person, and I was actually pleasantly surprised by the ones that we got to choose.
It was so.
I wish I could remember all the names, but
we tried like 14 of them in a single night. So how could you remember all of them? But they were amazing. Peach Coke says Julie needs some Kentucky Owl Rye. The only one available right now that we've seen is the last
$150.
$400. It's the last batch ever, right? It's $400. Can't do it. I can't do it. I cannot bring myself. I couldn't bring myself to buy the $300 batch. I certainly can't do it for $400.
I know.
And if I brought it home, Julie would beat me to death with the bottle.
No, I wouldn't. But I keep waiting for the day because he keeps mentioning the Kentucky Owl, and maybe we'll be able to find it cheaper in the Midwest. Mm-hmm. I'm hoping, but like he keeps bringing it up, and I keep like waiting for the day that he comes in and either just sneaks it on the shelf so that I don't know, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I'm sure we bought this at some point, or like just that I had to do it. There, Kentucky Owl is no longer.
There was only one
the last bottle left in the
it's
world.
A collector's item. I'm here. Yeah,
and I'd probably buy that because,
G Scripts in Pennsylvania can't get 114 anything, not Grandad or Overholt. The Overholt is bottled by. If you need, honestly, the Grandad Bonded, this is going to sound like sacrilege. OGD Bonded is my favorite expression of OGD. I like 114 a ton, but that Bonded, at the end of the day, for some reason, when I want to reach for my daily sipper, it's almost always that bottle. It's almost always that bottle.
That's interesting.
Camping. At home,
I love that Bonded. Yeah.
Whatever, that Bonded.
That's too bad though, because I really want you to try that. I feel like it's such a good value and it's so delicious.
Oh, the Overholt 114?
No, the old Grandad 114.
Oh no, we love that bottle.
But I'm sorry, I thought that's what we were talking about.
That's what I'm saying. No, he can't get it. Yeah, absolutely. It's great whiskey, but the Bonded is, in my opinion, for my palate, it suits me perfectly. I love that whiskey. Jim's wife made him some killer fish tacos tonight. I'd say you're a lucky man. Julie doesn't, not a seafood person. So.
I know. I'm trying, but I also don't want that smell in the house. I said my house, but basically in my kitchen.
Meanwhile, Jake Miller says no. He said big no to fish tacos.
Oh.
Whereas
every time we go anywhere that is like the seafood. Like if you're at a place that like you should order.
I'll buy fish tacos in Nebraska. I don't care. I'll have them anywhere. I don't care.
That's true. Down the street, we have a great restaurant. Phil always gets catfish tacos.
Yeah, there's no catfish around here. Not that I know of.
Not that I know of. Catfish. Yeah. Plus, we're like in the middle of the desert. There's no fish here, basically at all, except for the ones that they've helicoptered in.
Yeah. There's plenty of angling around here, though, so I'm sure the fish, those who are out there fishing are pulling in some good ones. Yeah. Keith says he's in South Carolina, can't find Buffalo Trace anywhere, but loves wild turkey products. We do too. I got to be honest, I've been thinking a lot about this lately, my whiskey or my distillery of the year. Last year, I think we both picked Old Forester.
Old Forester?
And this year,
I don't know, I have a wild turkey chain. Yeah.
Exactly. We're both on. And wild turkey's on fire right now. And the thing is, a lot of those products have been available forever, and we just didn't know about them, or we never bothered to try them.
Well, and not even that. I just think maybe we just didn't appreciate them for what they were. Because I don't know. Sometimes you're just like, yeah, it's wild turkey. Like I had that 20 years ago or whatever. Like it's kind of how you kind of feel about. Not you don't feel that, but like sometimes you think Jim Beam and you think like, oh, that's my starter journey. And then you try some of like the stuff that's in the line, right? Even like with wild turkey, and you're just like, dang, like I've been missing out.
Yeah. Yeah. We're like sort of hardcore on certain brands that are just producing great whiskeys right now. And that's one of them. Wild Turkey certainly near the top of the list. Everything that they've been putting out. And even this Russell's 13, we didn't want to like that as much as we did.
No.
You can't help it. No, sometimes a bottle is just that good. So
Phil always has to remind me too where everything comes from too, because I'm like, this is amazing. He's like, oh yes, Wild Turkey. I'm like, oh snap.
If it says Russell on it, you have a pretty good idea. It's the Russells. Newport has good fish. We like Newport. We actually like their liquor store. Seems like people don't know it exists, but every once in a while you find.
I know there's always bottles in there that people, because everyone just goes to regular liquor stores.
Yeah, that was where I found Wild Turkey Rye the first time I bought it. I couldn't believe my eyes.
Yeah.
Jake says OGD 114 is much less available now since others have seen the 114 proof on the bottom shelf in Ohio. Yeah, I'm sure. We're actually going through Ohio in the near future. I haven't been there in a long time. Looking forward to that. Yeah. You didn't know?
I don't know. I just like this channel. I just go with the flow. I know we have to we go from point A to B, C, and D, and then after that, I don't know where we're going.
That sounds right. That sounds very accurate. Well, what have you got there? Are you out of whiskey?
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, and I'm just about out of whiskey. And it's been an hour and 45 minutes. Our longest stream of all time.
Of all time.
And we wouldn't even be streaming if it wasn't for all of you great people that are actually here right now having these conversations with us. And it means the world to us. It's so great. Thank you so much. Now I have to check Newport for more bottles. Yeah, go on over there. Hit us up if there's anything good.
Yeah.
Have you been on the Bourbon tour? Is that for Wild Turkey? We've not been out there yet. One of the things that we're hoping to do this fall is getting out there. So
yeah.
But
I had a great time.
This has been so fun. Yeah, and we're gonna have to get the hatchet out and actually prepare these staves so we can put them in.
I know.
For the whole purpose of this whole thing. Oh my goodness.
You didn't really come to see us pouring whiskey anyway. Hopefully, you came for the community
and the cat. Probably the cat. Yeah.
I know. He did make an appearance, and we were just editing some videos, and Norman's made a couple of appearances in the last 2, and I said it's the most interaction that he's had in a while. If you've been following, he's an old man at 15, so he's kind of wishy-washy on what he wants to do, but he's been trying to get on board.
He's such a sweet old guy. We love him so much. Well, thank you so much to all of you for coming out tonight. G. Scurf, Mr. Great Shot, Ruby Hart, of course, Eric C., of course, Patrick Q., great to see you, Jim Lemke. We love that you came out tonight. Christopher DeVries, thank you so much. Great chatting with you on Instagram. By the way, check us out on Instagram at The Bourbon Van. Join us on Patreon if you like our outdoor stuff. We do a lot more of it there, and there's a lot more of it coming. If you Patreons have been wondering where we're at, it's because we haven't been outdoors. We haven't been able to get outside. That stuff's coming, and there's going to be a lot of it.
I'm hoping. I'm charging all my camera. I have
so many devices.
So many devices.
Yeah, absolutely. Bourbon of the week. You're over 1,000, bud. We love you. Thank you so much for joining in tonight, and we're so proud of you. Wildlife and Whiskey, thanks for coming. James Morgan, it was great seeing you all the way from the UK.
Heck yeah.
Timmy, as soon as he sends out, we making fajitas. We're happy to help. Yeah. Look, Julie's sister lives in the UK. We need to get over there again.
Yeah.
Dave Markowski, love this channel. Wow, thank you so much, Dave. And oh no, Tim's gonna have quesadillas instead of fajitas.
I think that's for lunch.
That's a good way to close it out.
All we eat is Mexican food around here.
We do love it. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much to our Patreons. Check us out on Instagram. Check us out on Patreon. And from wherever we are.
To wherever you are.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks for coming, guys. See you later.
Bye.